How are you doing today?
We're
Good,
doing
good.
good. Doing
Good to
really
hear.
good.
Good to hear.
What's Declan doing? Jeez. Closing my door so my parents don't walk in halfway.
I just had to get my friends to do that too, bro. Alright, so how did you guys all meet?
So I met Siren online
Yeah.
through Audio Tool. And then well, in my first year in Singapore Polytechnic, I met Declan in person. So we kind of just like I kind of just brought the like all three of us together, and then like
Ah,
we ended up becoming one group. Yeah.
nice, nice. So how long have you all been like into music for?
For me, I've been producing since 2020. Yeah, at the start of quarantine.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. That was a banging track for someone who's only been making music
Yeah.
for 2 years, dude. What the
Yeah. I think the others also just started recently. Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I've been producing like seriously for 2 years, but like I've been like moving around for like 5 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of same. I've also been around since 2017 actually, but producing seriously, I think around 2019 was when I started to get a bit more serious.
Yeah, yeah. So how did you guys find out about the contest?
Through Audio Tool.
Yeah, through Audio
Ah.
Tool.
Through
Yeah, we
Audio
just
Tool.
saw the post, and then I met Siren, and
It-
like he initially
it-
like
It was
Yeah.
actually a funny story. Leo was actually taking a nap that day, and then he saw a notification when he woke up, and then the first thing he did, he called me up. He was like, "Yo, Siren, take a look at this," and then the rest was history.
yeah. And then like a few days later, I just like asked Declan if he wanted to like hop on, because like I thought we could use his expertise, and then he was just like sure, and then that's how the entire thing started.
Yeah, no, because during that time when Leo called me up, I was looking at like Virtual Riot, like how he sound design, on like YouTube and stuff. So I was at that time I just got Serum. And I was like, yes, I'm on my way to be an Asian Virtual Riot. Yeah, so I was in that phase, and I thought that what Leo presented to me was up my alley. I could test my sound design skills, and yeah, that's how it
Sounds
happened.
good.
Yeah.
So what was the songwriting process like with you guys all together?
Oh, it was very chaotic. It was very chaotic. But most of the songwriting, like if it came to the instrumental and like all the backing like instruments and stuff like that, like the drums and like the arrangement, the three of us would kind of like go into calls on Discord and just kind of like play around. But the meaning, the story, the production, the arrangement, like the bulk of that was like carried by Siren. He's like an amazing songwriter.
Nah.
We all
Don't
had
give
writer's
me.
block, and like he was just a big help.
Yeah.
But don't give me too much credit that I don't deserve, man.
Yeah.
We did it together. We did it together.
Yeah. I guess you could say we started like we already knew that the end product that we wanted was kind of like a fusion of all the sounds that we all have.
Yeah.
So like Declan's very into like bass music and stuff like that. And then
I can definitely tell.
yeah. And like actually we were all into bass music and
Yeah.
stuff. And then I was like more on the melodic future bass side, and Siren at that time he really liked a lot of like orchestral like and like rap kind of elements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we started with like an arrangement of like we had a plan of like getting like 3 drops, and like who would get like whose sound would be the main focus in each drop.
Yeah.
And from then on we just kind of added on to each other's work and stuff like that once we had the main like structure of the song.
Yeah, that was something I really liked about it, how different all the drops were.
Yeah.
Especially that second one. That second one goes hard. Dude, that one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It was really interesting because like we didn't have vocals or lyrics until like the final week, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Declan
Oh.
and me recorded it in like the final 5 days, and we had to mix and master the whole thing really quickly. Yeah, we were really struggling with how to make each section kind of like blend together to make it into like one song. So yeah. I guess even though it's pretty chaotic, I guess towards like the middle of the contest, we kind of found how we wanted, like we found ways to kind of seamlessly transition them so that even though each drop is different and like the listener will have something different every time as they go on and listen, it will still sound like it's from the same song and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely felt that. It was really coherent, even though there's a lot of different styles in it.
Yeah.
I think the very important part, like in this like song itself, I think is the compromise that all three of us had to make.
Yeah.
Because since it's a collaborative thing, right? Like all three of us had like huge big brain mega mind ideas on how to take this track.
That's true.
You know,
That's so
like,
true.
like, oh, maybe we should like add an extra bass here. We should add another growl here. We should add another synth layer. We just keep adding. But then, yeah, like in the end, we all had to like compromise a bit because sometimes simplicity is the best
less
way.
is more is less.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm happy how it turned out.
And so what tips would you have for people entering the competition this year?
Wait, sorry, could you repeat that?
What advice would you have for people entering the competition this year?
I guess I'll go first, and then we can all go in like one circle. I think the biggest advice I would give everybody is that collaborations you will always like, there will always come a time where in the middle of it you will hit like a block that like you cannot face, like disagreements and stuff, like ideas that clash that you might not really prefer and you want to push for your idea and stuff like that. But I think when that happens, especially the more people you have with it, what you guys should focus on is what you can do first, rather than like what you think you want to do and stuff like that. Like rather on working on ideas, maybe you can like while you have writer's block and you can't write the lyrics, and like you're struggling to like agree with what the theme of the song should be, maybe you guys should work on something simpler that everyone agrees on and stuff like that, because that will really speed up the workflow. And that was something that like we only really tried like after like the first 2 weeks, which really wasted a lot of time that we could have used otherwise to make the song a lot better. Yeah.
Declan, you want to go first or me?
No,
me
you're
first?
going
All right.
next. You're going next. You're going next, bro.
I think my advice for anybody who's joining the competition this year is that if you have like, it's better if your collaboration partners are people that like in person, so they have much more synergy. And when you have that energy, when you have that synergy among like friends or whatnot, you can really like see how you guys perform in the studio, right? And that is the thing that most collaborations might lack. They just go inside and I'll add this, I'll add that. Oh, I want to do this. Just like as Declan said, we all had big brain ideas, but we had to compromise because we know for a fact that if we don't compromise, like less is more, more is less, the track would end up becoming a show. It would become a pile of random noises that doesn't make sense. So that is my advice for anybody, is to maybe it's better take a step back and rethink your decisions and then choose your partners correctly. Yep. Declan?
For me, I have a very simple acronym. It's called GLHF. Good luck, have fun. I understand it's a competition, but you're making music. It's not. Overall, like during this creative process, you should be able to have fun.
Yeah,
I think that's the most important part, because if you're not having fun and if everyone is stressing out about stuff, you guys will worry more about stressing out than worrying about the track arrangement and composition. So just good luck, have fun, man. Like, and if you don't win, who cares? It doesn't make you like less of it doesn't make you a producer if you don't win the competition. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, just go out there, do your best. Yeah, good luck, have fun.
Yeah, that's really good advice. So what are some oh no, sorry, you go.
I wanted to say like that was a thing that each of us faced in the creation of the song, right? So at that moment, we were all like occupied with in real life stuff actually.
Mhm.
We were all facing ups and downs,
Mm.
and that caused kind of like unnecessary stress in the creation of the track. So at the end of the day, we all found like the perfect balance to make sure that that stress doesn't like take over and cloud our vision. So that's pretty much
Right.
how we made the track. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds like you two had a lot of like, all three of you, sorry, had a lot of like synergy going on.
Yeah.
I can definitely tell you're like good mates.
Yeah.
So who
Oh,
are some big musical influences for you all? Obviously
Oh.
bass music, but
Virtual Riot. I think everyone has some Virtual
Well-
Riot influences.
Yeah.
I guess like in terms of back to you actually, like a very big influence that I had like really was like Virtual Riot. Like on a serious note, like it's not just arrangement wise or like songwriting wise, it's also like production and like the techniques that he uses and stuff. It's really really like interesting. Like I before this I'd never tried producing melodic dubstep at all. And I because I've produced future bass before and they're kind of close like relatives.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, oh, melodic dubstep is easy, it's just like future bass with like a bunch of dubstep elements. And then when I actually tried it out, I realized how hard it was. So like like yeah, Virtual Riot, I think Illenium also influenced me a lot in the songwriting for like and the sound design and everything. Not too sure about the other sections, but like yeah, if you guys like, yeah, who did inspire you guys to make all the other drops?
The Siren.
For me, I think actually, I think okay. Do you know More Kismet? Actually, I was listening to a lot of More Kismet stuff for the third
Yeah,
drop
yeah,
specifically, right? And I want to do this like because the third drop is like the weirdest. Like it's
Mhm.
it's styled
The
in a way that
wackiest.
it's kind of wacky, but it's also like the one that stands out. So
Mhm.
for the third drop, I kind of listened to a lot of More Kismet stuff, and I listened to the composition that normally how he uses and in his tracks, and that was the main influence when I was writing third drop. Yeah.
Right.
For me, wow, this is gonna be like the corniest thing you guys ever heard. I combined all of my bass music influences and then I added my own personal touch to it.
This is actually quite decent because like the first drop is like compared to the second and the third, the first is like 32 bars long, so it's like twice as long. So we were really playing around with the bass design, and we were like, just like, oh, we added like a Skrillex Purple Lamborghini yoink, and then a Virtual Riot like wobble growl, and then some kind of like kill the noise screech. So it's really all over the place in terms of sound design. But like, yeah, I guess like here and there you can hear a few of those influences.
Yeah, I definitely picked up on the purple Lamborghini one
Yeah.
right away. I'm like, these guys like Skrillex, huh? Yeah, no. So what troubles did you run into along the way? Like, obviously you talked about having to compromise on the collaborative part, but what about anything like technical or maybe like logistically that you ran into?
I think we can
I-
all agree on one thing. So the track was made on audio tool, right?
Yeah.
So at that
this
time,
story.
right? The draft actually, okay, I don't know if you know this, but Back to You is actually, I think to this day, is it
Yeah,
still?
it is.
Yeah,
It's the
till this
biggest
day,
published
it's
draft.
still the biggest draft ever made on audio tool, like the most devices,
Wow.
the most
Like
synths and stuff like that.
700 or 800 devices.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And because of how huge it was, the audio tool had issues like keeping up with it. So every time we wanted to get into the draft and work on it, it would take a long ass time to load. And we had to compromise on like, okay, we would create separate drafts and then bounce here, bounce there, bounce here, bounce there. And that was the kind of like the main technical issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like really, really hard doing that because it's an online DAW as well. So like we had like I think 13 different drafts, like sound design, and then like the first drop, the second drop, and it's all separated like certain drafts, and then we had to copy and paste those into the main draft. And like the more devices we added to the main draft, the longer it would take. I think there's one time when like I went to school, and like before I went to school, I opened the draft and I went back. It was still loading, and
Oh.
like I was like, oh, how am I supposed to do
Jesus.
this? So yeah, and like I think Declan can speak for this because like before this, he never used Audio before. Yeah, he never used Audio before. But like yeah, so we had to like teach him along the way and like continue like keep the ball rolling, because like we had very ambitious plans, and like we didn't want to just stop and like just give up. So we want to like keep it rolling. So laggy drafts and like very long like loading times were like a lot of like time that we honestly could have actually saved if it didn't happen. Like really.
Yeah, it sounds like it has like 800 devices. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like all the EQs and the compressors. Oh, then I remembered why now. So we almost didn't actually submit the track because I remember on the final week when I was processing the vocals in FL and I was tuning them. I had Audio running and I had FL running and I had Discord running. I was streaming it. So my Mac was just overloaded. And then FL just crashed.
Oh.
So 6 hours of vocal tuning just went down the drain. I had to like do it all over again. It was like, it was so stressful because like we had to just like bounce it into Audio like ASAP because we hadn't mixed the track at all. We just, yeah, we had just finished recording the vocals that day. It was very hectic the last week. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys had a bit of a time crunch there.
Yeah.
How long did it take you from start to finish? How long did the track take to make?
I think the whole duration of the contest, to be honest.
Yeah.
We submitted on like the day before submission. Yeah. It took that long, like from the start all the way. So like give it like two months around there, like 1 or 2 months. Yeah, somewhere along that line.
Yeah. You fit a lot into that time.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I feel like a lot of people go for something more simple with something like this, but you guys really went all out with like a really technical thing.
Yeah.
So it would have taken a lot of time.
Yeah, it did. We were very ambitious back then because it was our first collaboration, and usually people have a lot of ideas. So rather than just kind of like going with like one catchy drop and stuff like that, we wanted to make something that stood out and like, you know, express all three of us like differently because it was a collaboration. And we really wanted to get that aspect of collaboration, like in the sense that like everyone has their own part in the song. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So I had a question. I just forgot it. Sorry. I don't remember it. Oh yeah, where are you guys at musically now? So are the three of you still doing bass music, or have some of you moved on to other genres? Like, what are you all doing these days?
I think Declan can start first this time.
I see. Okay. Wow. I mean, because for me, when I'm listening to music, I like to listen to like a lot of different genres. So I don't only listen to bass music. I also listen to house music, dance music, pop music, and like sometimes a bit of like hip hop and R&B stuff. So yeah, this unfortunately influenced my production as well. So I don't really produce bass, like I don't solely produce bass music. I produce house music, and like I have some weird orchestral stuff which is just there, but you know, in the event that I can put it in a song, it's there, I guess. Yeah, but I think that might be just my brand, my USP as a producer, I guess, is that I'm multi-genre, versatility, which I think is quite important.
Andrew Huang.
Andrew Huang.
Yeah, I think that versatility is quite important, especially in today's music world, because now in order for you to be Martin Garrix's level of famous, you know, you have to be insane sound designer. You have to put you have to re-synthesize your farts. You put your farts in a vocal or something. I don't know, man. You have to do something unique, you know. And I think first of all that that takes up like quite a bit of time, and it puts a mental toll on yourself as well, which is not really what I like to do. Because I have like faced burnt out before, and I don't really like that. So yeah, I think multi-genre is the way to go for me from now on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yo, you want
Oh, you
me?
Yeah,
me
you.
first. All right. For me, right? Actually, I'm kind of in a similar situation with Declan. I don't restrain myself to a single genre, right? I like to do multi-genre stuff. I always love doing multi-genre stuff. But for now, currently, I've been getting into more hip hop side of things, boom bap
Boom bap.
and rap focused, lyrical focused.
Oh,
So
yeah.
because it's something that I've always wanted to do. I look up to a lot of like big time rappers and all that, and I've always wanted to try. So right now, at the moment, I'm doing more hip hop, more vocal focused, but I do plan to continue incorporating my vocals and blending it with multi-genre stuff. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's nice. He recently released a album. It's
Ooh.
called Boom Bap and stuff like that. For me, I guess I told myself like this year I'd focus a lot on my music, like my original music on Spotify. So I told myself I'd give myself a realistic goal, like one song per month, and I decided I'd go for something like a little bit more like I'd have phases. So like the others, I also haven't stopped making other genres, but I like to focus on like one at a time. So like right now I'm in like my funky pop phase and stuff like that, like very housey tracks coming up and stuff like that. I'm focusing on like writing songs that are like pretty catchy and stuff like that. And then like next year I'm planning on like going on a future bass and like more R&B like direction. So
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
Me and
good.
Leo have a new ID.
No.
We all have IDs together, man.
Oh, yeah.
True.
We all have unfinished tracks together.
Yeah, that's crazy. So do you guys want to shout out your socials or any new music you guys are dropping?
Yeah. My Spotify is Icebox. You can just search that up. My Instagram is call me icebox, like call.me.icebox. So yeah. Recently released like a couple of songs that made it to a few editorial playlists. So yeah,
Ooh.
still getting there.
That's good. Were you the one with the video of the really excited reaction to winning last year's contest?
Oh, that was Siren.
That was me.
That was
Ah.
recording with his phone like this, and he was like anticipating, and it was like,
Yeah, I remember it was one of you. I'm like, that's sick. I love that video.
Never got old. What about you, Siren? Promote your EP. Promote your album.
All right. On Spotify, my name is SIREN, right? And recently, I just released an boom bap album called Tired ? Right? It's very more focused on deep vocal, deep lyrics and lyricism. And for my Instagram, it's at @sirenmusic_. So yeah, you can check it out and stuff like that.
Yeah, sounds good. What about you, Declan?
Hello. Yes, it's me. It's my Spotify, dcln on Spotify. My latest single, Need You Now, is almost hitting 1,000 streams. My first ever solo stream,
Let's
which
go.
hit 1K. All right, yeah.
Well done.
My Instagram, dclnbngrs. No spacing, all small caps. It's your boy.
Extra bangers.
Very smooth.
Yeah, mash keys
Um,
make bangers.
But yeah, no.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you.
problem, man.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Thank
for
you,
giving
man.
us
Thank
this-
you, man.
Thank you. This is a nice contest. If
Yeah.
we didn't see this, we would never have made back to you.